welcome to episode number 63 of the Solo Gamer podcast. I've managed to actually get the numbers right, except for last week. I did screw it up. I am known as the person to screw up the number every week. I can never keep track. I say the wrong number like every other week. So last week I said it was 63. Last week was 62. This week is 63. And it's going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're happy to have you. We're short a cohort today. There's no Taylor. His setup is in ruins after a move, and he just doesn't have an office, doesn't have a place to set everything up. It's all a disaster. Everyone knows what that's like. But of course, I am joined by the effervescent Kyle. Kyle, what's up, man? How are you doing this week?
Good, man. Staying busy. Working out more. We've been going to the gym. I try to do a little bit extra. You know, focusing.
I know.
On
I need to join you. Did you send me the supernatural thing?
I promise that's gonna happen.
Do you have to be
right
in the app?
this.
Do you have to be in the app?
I don't know, because I know that you can get
in the headset.
I can access the apps on my MetaQuest app on my phone, so I'm gonna try there first.
Okay.
That seems like a lot to put on the headset just to.
Yeah. That does seem like a lot. And then you got to remember when your heart rate is at 150 or whatever.
Yeah. Once I'm done with that workout, I'm like, I'm going to throw this thing as far as I can.
It's all sweaty and gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's Supernatural, right? That's what that's called?
Yeah, Supernatural. It is a fun time. I highly recommend it. It's, it's crazy how much you can end up doing without even realizing it, because you're in this virtual world, and it's kind of a fun game where, there's a couple different modes that you can play. There's even like a yoga one, which I haven't tried yet, which would be kind of interesting.
I don't yoga. I love yoga. I do not look down on yoga or anything. I can't imagine doing yoga with a big heavy thing on your head.
Yeah, that's the part that kind of turns me off about it.
It's like, no, dude, you're like, it's just like your head just laying. You got a brick on your face. I'm like, it's kind of supposed to be like a light, airy, flexible thing, and you gotta, there's balance involved, and I feel like I'm happy that you have the ability to see, what do they call that, pass through?
Yeah,
where it's like it's giving you like a camera view, but it's like really shitty resolution, right? It's only supposed to be just extremely practical. Like, don't run into the television.
Right.
And looking through that too much kind of like makes me sick almost, which is weird. But like,
it is a bit hazy for sure.
I was trying to text through because I was like in the middle of a thing, and I was like, this is horrible. I had to just take it off. So I just can't, you have to balance.
Yeah, texting is way too hard on there. I've tried it a few
you're like
times.
trying to like balance and like doing like a lunge or whatever, and then you're, but I don't actually see my surrounding. I don't know. I'd be interested.
Yeah, I think that's the hard part, is that doing yoga, I definitely feel like I would have to really trust my surroundings and have quite a bit of space. Because fully stretching out feels uncomfortable if you're not sure if you're going to be hitting a wall or a table or something.
Maybe it's like cool down yoga, like post-workout meditative, and it puts you in some cool, jungle or the desert or whatever. And and it's supposed to be more just sort of like you're sitting crisscross applesauce or whatever. And then every now and then you lie down or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
I'd be curious to try it, but
yeah, I got to try it out.
Yeah. It'll be, that's a cool way to get a little cardio in. Like I struggle to get cardio. Just cause I can't run. I can't run because of my messed up spine.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, no more jogging for you. Cause I used to love to run like cross country and jog and stuff. Is just a nice way to, I think really because I could just throw shoes on and step out my door and go have and go work out. I could just run. I just run somewhere and run back. Which I appreciated about that. They were like, it didn't take anything other than a decent pair of shoes, really.
Right.
So now that I can't really do that, it's like I take my dogs for walks and stuff, and that's very nice. It's good to get steps in, but it's not like getting my heart rate going. So I need to figure out different ways. It's like, those HIIT exercises or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's different ways to do it, but
curious to see
I'd
how
be interested
Supernatural
to
would
gamify
work
it. Yeah, I want to gamify it.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they got like like a boxing version, which I've talked to you about quite a bit, but they throw all these different like cones from different directions, and sometimes they throw out a bar that you have to like duck under and then immediately throw an uppercut afterwards, and they throw a series of combinations. And the soundtrack, ranges from all of the top pop songs to the classic like 80s rock and roll, and or like even a electronic music, or
Yeah.
hip hop, all that sort of stuff. They got all the good music on there. And so you can really find what fits for you. They have a lot of different like coaches on there, and some of them maybe you'll relate to more than others. I think all of them are pretty great, and it's kind of cool having the music playing, and you're playing this game while you have this coach that's kind of like virtually cheering you on, essentially. Um, so there's that, and then they also have like the what is it that what's the other game, the
Beat
Beat
Saber?
Saber? Yeah, yeah. So they have
Yeah.
that game essentially in there as well, where you're, having to wave and flail your arms. But that one's hard for me because in this room, I don't know if you noticed, but I am a pretty tall guy though, and this ceiling's not very tall. So
No, I've been
flailing of
down.
arms is
When
not a good idea.
yeah, I could totally understand that. Like, cause it's been a while since I've been over there, but I remember when I was helping you move in and stuff. Or not, I don't know if I helped you move in, but I was there for something. I
You
can't
did help
remember.
me
We were
move.
moving. Okay. I
Yeah.
thought that was it. Yeah. I helped you move in there. Um, and I remember, I remember like being like, man, you're tall in this room.
Yeah.
You definitely have to think about that if you're going to be flailing around.
Yeah, I don't have to
Yeah.
be
I
on my
get,
toes. I can just touch the ceiling. So yeah, it's just I'm staying away from that game. But the boxing is a lot of fun,
that's
and
cool.
it's like I only do like 20 to 30 minutes, and I'm just completely drenched in sweat.
You're just wrecked.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just working for me because yeah, like I feel like running outside makes me a bit uncomfortable. I don't know why. I just kind of get in my head about it.
Sure.
Um, and then of course, the gym that we're at is like, half a mile away from me or whatever, and it takes a little while to get there, and sometimes that kind of like takes away the
There's a
motivation to
lot
want to
of,
go.
it's not far distance for you, but it's like, there's like probably the highest concentration of traffic lights between you and that gym.
Yeah.
And so I feel like even though it's really close from mileage standpoint, you're probably maybe a couple miles
Yeah,
from
it's
it.
it's a few miles.
And you could, that could probably take you like 20 minutes if you hit
Especially
all the
dude,
red
all
lights.
those, yeah. All the stoplights. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny, the idea, like I'm going to get in my car and drive 2 miles to go run in place on a machine.
Yeah.
What a weird world that
That's
we
what
live
it
in.
is.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense for the other stuff, as far as for weightlifting and things like that. I don't have anywhere to put a weightlifting setup.
God, I would love to have like a
It's like,
bench or something like that.
me
Yeah.
too, man. Just like a bench that you can do incline and put back down, and a few different dumbbells, and you could even just do like free weight. It'd be awesome. I would love that. It'd
Yeah.
be super cool. I'd use it all the time, I feel like, but you have to have a good space for it.
Oh, for sure.
That's the problem. It's like, it's kind of like gaming. Like, you got to have a room or some kind of area that's going to be, it's got the right lighting and all that. And then for a gym, it's like, I wouldn't want it in my garage because it's really hot and really cold depending on the time of year out there. Like, it
That's
wouldn't be
fair.
comfortable at all. I mean, you could still do it. It'd just be really hot. And then you just have to, like, in the winter, you just have to put on, like, a sweater and stuff and just
You have
warm
to
up a
find a
little
way to
bit.
cool it down though. I don't know, because I feel like if you don't do it in a garage, it's like I'm kind of weird about being comfortable in my setting. And so I feel like sweating in your own house just feels weird. I don't know what it
Yeah. Well,
is.
I mean, you were just
It makes
doing your supernatural exercise.
I know, and I was because I don't really have a choice. I could
Yeah.
go in my backyard, but I don't want somebody seeing me with this VR headset.
The headset doing a little round of
pretending like
little
I'm
jabs,
some
little right
professional
hook.
boxer. No, that's just a nightmare. But if I could, I
You're over
would
there,
do it
one more
outside.
time.
Yeah, because I hate that like feeling of like making your room like kind of musty in a sense, like it's kind of a gym. That's why I like
Yeah.
the idea of having a gym in like a
Yeah.
garage because it's kind of more.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We don't love the gym we go to, but it works. And we've been going in the morning, and there haven't been as many people there. So, and we go on Sunday too, and Sundays seem to be a good day
Sunday's
because there's
great.
nobody in there.
Yeah.
Nobody in there, which is surprising to me. I'm going to go on Sundays even during football season just before the game starts.
Yeah. It was
You
perfect.
know,
Perfect
go do
timing.
that, and yeah,
Get there at like
it
9
works
o'clock
absolutely
and
perfect. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, do a half hour, 8:30, 9. Do what you got to do and get out of there and come back for the 10 a.m. kickoff, man.
Heck yeah.
I got to look into that. I got to look into fucking getting my NFL Sunday ticket back. God, it's so expensive.
Oh,
It's so expensive.
yeah.
And
I
I'm
don't
going to
envy
do it
you.
anyways. Did you see that the ESPN is
Bought out
ESPN
NFL
bought
Network.
NFL Network and
Yep.
is buying Red Zone too?
Yeah.
I
Well, I
wonder
think
how that'll
the red zone
affect.
is included in the NFL Network, but yeah, because I think it's all the same network.
Well, but they don't play red. Do they play Red Zone on NFL Network when you watch it during the games? I thought you had to pay
Yeah,
separately
yeah,
for
because
it.
you can actually pay. You remember I paid like I think it was like, gosh, I want to say somewhere between $10 to $15 a month just to have NFL Red Zone on the NFL app. So,
Okay. Okay.
and I know that the NFL app is definitely correlated to NFL Network, so I'm pretty sure they're all under the same umbrella. But
Because I
yeah,
thought during
essentially they
NFL
bought
Network
out.
they just have like NFL Game Day playing, and then
Yeah,
because they want to put Red Zone behind some kind of paywall. So I don't know, because I know that like they include it with you can pay like a little extra with your Sunday ticket and
right.
get Red Zone as well. Because that's what I was doing. So I have I have a setup uh, where I have a little TV that I go, which is actually starting to shit out. So I might have to buy another TV too, which sucks.
Ugh.
We have a little television in our bedroom. It's like 32 inch or 40 inch or something like that. And I grab that TV and I bring it out to my living room and I set it down on the floor and I plug it in and I put Red Zone on that one, and then whatever game that we're watching on the big TV. So we can keep tabs of like everything that's going on in Red Zone down below, and then watch whatever the primary game is we're watching on the TV. It's
It's
fucking
quite the
awesome, dude.
setup.
I love football season so much. It is so great. It's so fun. I know a lot of people aren't into it, so we'll shut up about sports. Not so we don't
Yeah,
alienate anybody, but it's right around the corner, man. I'm pumped. Super
absolutely.
excited.
Can't wait.
It'd be fun to do a like a football podcast on the side someday
Oh,
too.
I'm so down.
I think that'd be fun.
I feel like that's like
But
50% of our day-to-day conversation anyways.
sports, the other half being video games
Yeah.
and maybe food and diet.
Yeah, pretty much.
What we want to eat. Dreaming about Taco Bell.
Oh man. Especially lately, man. Been on a pretty
Oh
strict
yeah,
diet and I
you haven't
think I've
had
been
it in a
having
while.
dreams
Yeah,
of Taco Bell.
dude, it makes going like eating strict diet though makes everything taste better. Like you don't have Taco Bell or like something that you really enjoy because it's not very good for you and you don't have it for a really long time. Like when you get it, it's like, oh, this
Oh,
is
bro.
so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And then like when you do it too much, it's not exciting anymore. And you think you're excited for it, but then you're kind of like, I feel like shit. I just ate this like a couple days ago and I'm having it again or whatever, you know? It's like, so it's
Next
also
thing you know,
mental,
you're
man.
just like guilt eating
Yeah.
because you feel so much shame about all the Taco Bell you've been eating.
Yeah. But you're still eating it because it's
Yeah.
like, this is like one of the only spikes of happiness that I can find in a week,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh man,
So
I've been there many a time.
so it's funny how that works, but yeah, we do love our Taco Bell around here. It's so funny. Like I'm definitely like a foodie. I love to cook, and I like going to like really high end restaurants and city. You know, go when I go to a new city, and I also like hole in the wall places, and like I like trying new kinds of food and all that stuff. Like I'm not snooty in the sense of like I look down on certain foods, but it's like I have a lot of taste, and I like going to places where the cook is trying new things. Like we have a burger place here in town called Mission Burgers, and he makes classic like smash burgers, but he also makes a bunch of other stuff. And he's a chef, you can tell, and he
Mm-hmm.
tries all kinds of new ideas, and they're always so amazing and delicious. But all of that said, like there's we have all have like a special relationship with Taco Bell, even though I know it's shit. It's shit food.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah.
But I just love it. Like I could give up all other fast food forever if it meant that I got to keep Taco Bell.
Oh, that's such an easy decision.
It's the easiest decision ever.
I don't even think it's close.
I don't know why. Like, it's hard to even really, like, every time I hear someone like talk shit about Taco Bell, everything they're saying is right. They're like, it's like the same 8 ingredients, like in 8 different ways. I'm like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's good.
Yeah,
it's just like they
figured out the
figure out
formula.
different ways of doing it. Yeah, it's just something that's addicting about it. It's like, I think they just like get all of the textures down, and they just play with texture. They're like, do you want these flavors crunchy? Do you want these flavors like creamy, spicy? Do you want this in a bowl? Do you want this like, it's just like a million? Do you want this like covered in cheese and griddled? Like, yes, yeah, give me all of that. I want all of that.
Oh,
That sounds great.
yeah.
So if you guys haven't had Taco Bell in a while, go there, because the whole new like chicken menu is fucking dank.
Oh man, yeah.
Those little the Cantina chicken crispy tacos, they're like actual corn tortillas, and they like fry them up. They're not like shitty corn. They're like actual corn tortillas, and they have that chicken in them and like a jalapeno ranch sauce or something. And it's all cheesy on one side, and they're like crispy and creamy. And I just like they have like an avocado green sauce that goes on. It's so good. This is like this. It's better than Taco Bell deserves to be. Like, I think it's the best thing Taco Bell's ever done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do too much Taco Bell here, but one thing I will say, I could spend another hour on this. One thing,
yes.
One thing I will say, as much as they may say, like they only have like 8 flavors. I don't think any other fast food restaurant experiments as much as Taco Bell, and I do like that.
Totally agree. And I don't think any other fast food restaurant really has more than, like, they're saying it's the same thing over and over. It's like, well, what is Wendy's?
Yeah.
Burger patties, buns, different sauces and toppings, chicken on different things, chicken flavored different ways and put on buns. It's all the same. That's what makes fast food.
Yeah.
Is that it's all like industrialized, pre-made food that they can just pump out and like change a slight thing about it and advertise it as something else. Like, that's what it is. So I've always thought that was a weird insult. So yeah. So if you guys can't tell, not a major topic to hit immediately to as far as gaming goes, and so we just wanted to shoot the shit there for a little bit. So this week we wanted to, since we don't have Taylor, like, we had a couple ideas, and we're like, but we want to have Taylor for that. Sometimes I watch YouTube for a while, and I'll find a video, and I'll start watching the video, and then I'll just turn it off. I'm like, I can't watch this without Kyle.
Oh, dude.
and then I'll like save it. I think I even have like a list of like watch with Kyle or something like that. And like, it's kind of the same thing when we kept talking about different topics we could do today, sans Taylor. And I was like, no, actually Taylor would have a lot to say about this. So like, I didn't want to cut him out of like a fun conversation. So we decided that we're just gonna, we're gonna hit what we hit, which is always what we've been playing. And then we just wanted to take a little look at the rest of the year and just talk about some of the games we're most excited about. So I'm sorry if you didn't get to write in this week. I don't see that we received any write-ins, though I realize now that I didn't check our email, so I will check that real quick. But if you didn't write in this week because you didn't see a prompt, just know that if you don't get a prompt, one, I should probably let you know what we're going to be talking about, even if it's not super prompt worthy. But if you don't see a prompt, you can always just write in. You can write in about whatever you want, whenever you want, and we'll probably read it on the show.
Yeah, please do.
I mean, we just spent 18 minutes talking about Taco Bell and exercising and like home gyms and shit. So write in. And even if you don't see something, if you wanted to write in, you've been thinking about, I should ask them this time. Like, you don't need a prompt if you don't want one. If you don't have something that might not relate to the prompt and you just want to talk, that is totally fine. So no write-ins this week. So we just thought we'd look ahead and look at some of our most anticipated games for the rest of the year. and just go from there. And it'll probably be a little bit shorter of an episode than you're used to. There's not a ton going on in the world of news. There's a couple major things in the news world that I did want to talk about, but I'm going to hold those for next week so that we can get Taylor's take on that stuff as well, because I know he'd want to talk about some of this. So more Xbox news, but not dire this time. Very interesting. Yeah, so we'll get into that next week when we do our news segment. So let's get going with our usual thing. Now I know it's been kind of a busy week for everyone. Taylor's been moving, and I know you've been getting up to a lot this week. So if you've been playing anything, man, what has that been, and what have you gotten a chance to dive into this week?
Yeah. Obviously I've been playing KCD2.
Yeah.
There's definitely like the main storyline, kind of sets everything up for the open world side of things. And then it's really kind of set up for you to, the way that things happen in that main story, it's just kind of like, okay, now you have time to just kind of mess around and do what you want. It definitely makes sense for you to like put the main story on hold and just do a bunch of side quests and just play the game and have fun with it. So that's what I've been doing. I've actually nearly completed all of the side quests I can do, so I'm almost at that point where I do need to progress in the story. So I'm excited. I'm excited to progress that and see where that goes. But just exploring, roaming the lands as Henry and getting better armor and getting a cool horse. I just recently,
Oh, cool.
yeah, one of the things I experienced and I'm learning is so when you fast travel, so to speak, you have to choose a spot in the map, and then it actually simulates you traveling there. And then
Oh,
along
sure.
the way, sometimes you'll have interactions. Some of them will be peaceful. Some of them will just be like a merchant. Sometimes it's just some guy begging for change. And then other times it's like you're in the middle of like a robbery, somebody just being, it's like a shakedown essentially. And you can decide to either just go by or, whatever the case may be. But I recently had one where this guy was, being confronted by a couple of bandits. I walk in, I kill those two bandits. And right before I go to talk to this guy, or actually, I was like literally in the middle of a conversation. And then I see behind him two more bandits are walking up the road. And one of them, I could see them slowly pulling out a crossbow as I'm talking to him. He's like, "Yeah, thanks for
Oh,
saving me, man. I owe you my life. Here's a couple of groschen." And then arrow to the chest.
what?
Yes. It was like really cool. And I'm like, oh my God. So I have to go run down and I have to go kill these two bandits. And then another
Wait,
part.
so an arrow to the chest doesn't kill you?
No, he was dead.
Oh,
The guy I
okay.
was talking to was
He
dead.
got
He got killed.
okay. I thought he was like trying to like. Oh, okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah, sorry.
Damn,
I can
that's
see
insane.
the bandit behind him pulling out the crossbow. I should say bolt, by the way, to be more technical.
Yeah, well, I knew what you meant.
But yeah, the bolt went straight through his chest. It ended the conversation immediately, and then I had to pull out my weapon and go fight these two new bandits that just came across. And then after I killed them, and I barely escaped because the first two people was already hard enough. I barely escaped, and I realized that this guy I was talking to is a pretty wealthy merchant, and he has a really nice white horse.
Oh.
So I'm like, I was going around looting everybody, but I spent too much time there. And some random citizen had eventually walked by right when I was getting on the white horse. And so to this random AI, it's thinking this guy just killed everybody and is like stealing this horse and running away.
Yeah.
And so he runs back
I
to
was just going to
town.
ask you if the white horse was going to be recognized and people would know that it wasn't you. That wasn't your horse.
Yeah, so he runs back to whichever town he was from, which ended up being one of the towns is Troskowitz. And so it'll let you know, like in the name on the map, there will be like a little kind of like prison bars symbol next to it,
Okay.
which lets you know that you're wanted, essentially, which will wear off eventually,
Okay.
because it's essentially a rumor. I mean, the guy doesn't have
Right. I mean, they don't
evidence.
really know exactly what you look like.
Yeah,
You'd have to write in on the white horse because that was what I was going to ask you before you. Oh, hi! Before you answered it. Sorry, my dog was running. Before you answered about the horse, I was like trying to think if you had just like if that person hadn't seen you but you were riding that horse, it's a very distinctive, beautiful white horse. And like I wonder if there was anything in the game that would have someone know that that very well-known wealthy merchant was missing and his beautiful white horse had been seen riding around or whatever, you know. That
Yeah,
kind of reactive world is crazy.
I know. Yeah, I haven't had it happen yet, but I wouldn't put it past it because so far everything I've experienced, you have to be aware of all those sort of things. You have to be careful of who's seeing you do things because even if you didn't do it, it doesn't matter. You look like, I mean, I was standing next to 5 dead bodies and a pocket
Yeah,
full of
oh,
stuff,
for
you know,
sure. And
like,
you're like, I didn't do it.
yeah, and blood all
I
over me.
swear.
Like, yeah. So, yeah, so he took off. And there's actually this other place where you can actually take your horses, and it's like a black market, and they're able to, you know, essentially wash it clean, and it becomes your horse. Um, which is what I did because it was like this is not only a really cool looking horse, but it actually was, you know, faster and was able to carry more and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
but it was just a cool little story. And then I basically had to like avoid Troskowitz for like a week straight, like in game time, and it was really fun. So things like that happen, and it's like it adds so much realism to the game and makes everything feel so um like genuine, and like all the characters that you meet are, you know, individually, you know, actual people within this world. Like it's not just typical AI that's just doing the program. It's like actually kind
Right.
of thinking and reacting to what they're seeing and what you're doing. So um I'm really starting to like this game quite a bit, and I haven't even really messed with the main story yet. So
Wow. I have a question about it. I don't know if you'll be able to answer it, either because it'll have spoilers or because you don't really know yet. But does it of you're talking about doing all the side or a lot of the side content, right?
mhm. Yeah.
Does the story setup allow for that, or are you just is it, you know, so like Fallout 4, we were just talking about this in person recently, I think. Like I think we were. Fallout 4 is like spoilers for Fallout 4, I guess, if you haven't played it. You your wife is murdered in front of you and your child is kidnapped, and then you get out, and then the game's like, "Do you want to like grow some carrots?"
Right.
And you're like, "Well, I mean, I would like to do that, but the game just told me that my baby son was kidnapped and my wife was murdered, so it would kind of break the immersion of this story if I were to just be like, I'm gonna go farm or wander. Like it doesn't allow you to
Yeah.
get away with doing side content. So like there are some, you know, there are other games that are really good about it. Does KCD does the story set in a way that allows you to do this and not feel like you're, you know, pushing off something that no human would ever actually push
Right.
off?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
it
cool. I
totally
love
makes
that.
sense. Yeah. There's a lot left open to interpret with where the main story leaves off, and it really like drops you into the open world, and you know you literally have to. I mean, you don't have to do all the side quests, um, but if you're going to be successful in this game at all, you kind of have to roam around and pick yourself up because it kind of drops you off with basically no money, and
Mm-hmm.
you just got, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna spoil anything in the story, but essentially you're
No.
left with nothing and you're back to square one after all you've built
Okay.
up as Henry. um and so it does leave a, you have to actually do side quests to build yourself back up, get, you know, get some groschen in your pocket, um, and develop your skills before you're able to actually progress in the main story. So they intentionally make sure that it makes sense in the story when they release you into the open world to like actually go out and explore.
Okay. Yeah, I like that a lot. I was just talking about this with Will, the guitarist in our band. He was we were talking about this and how the Elder Scrolls has gone back and forth. Like in Morrowind, the story really sets you up to just wander because they're like, hey, take this unknown package to this person in Balmora, right? And then if
Right.
you do that, you're getting released from prison, you're told to do that. And then when you go talk to him, Caius Casades, I think is his name, if I remember correctly, he tells you, hey, you need to go, like, I do have tasks for you that are set to you by the Emperor, but you're just like fresh out of prison and you're raw. Like, go join the Imperial Legion, go work for one of the houses, go join the Fighters Guild, do something like that because you're not ready for this. And it like opens up the game. The game, like the story is telling you, like, you're not ready for this. And it gives you a contextual reason to just do whatever you want and just explore the world. And then you go to Oblivion, which is my personal favorite Elder Scrolls game, but it's like the Emperor gets assassinated and he gives you his,
Yeah.
insanely important medallion, the amulet of kings, and the whole world's about to end. And then you're just like, nope, I'm out of here. I'm going to pocket this thing and go fight in the arena. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So
Yeah.
you're like, oh, fuck, okay, all right. Well, I guess I have to do the main story first. Like, that's kind of how, and then do their other stuff later.
Right. Yeah.
And then in Skyrim, they do a better job again, I think, because you're just about to be your head chopped off. And then the dragon comes, attacks, you get out. And then this guy that you escape with just says, hey, I have family down in Riverwood. If you want to know, that dragon attacked, we should probably let the Jarl know. You should meet us there, and we'll figure this. We'll get something figured out. Thank you for helping me. And it's very realistic for me to be it's decide in my head, like, this character's like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah. Right.
I'm out of here. I was just imprisoned. Like, I'm escaping. I'm not going to go get involved.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. So it gives you the freedom to kind of. So when you were talking about that, I was like, I really hope that it does that. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it not only makes sense, but they kind of force your hand. You definitely have to go out and explore. So
that's even better, honestly, in some way. So that's super cool. Well, speaking of Elder Scrolls, because we're going to be starting BioShock soon for the experience point, I've kind of purposely held off on playing or like really starting anything. And this week, for the most part, I've just been playing Elder Scrolls Online, man. Just getting through it. I basically, so I started playing ESO. Well, started when it first came out on consoles. I had it on PlayStation 4, like in 2016 or 2015, whenever it was they launched on console. And I played it for a little bit on there, and I liked it. But I don't know, it didn't stick with me the first time for whatever reason. And then I had friends who started playing on Steam, like on PC. And I was like, oh, cool. It's an MMO. It feels like a PC thing. So I'm going to play it on there. And I'm playing on there for a while. And then all this stuff going out, and everyone stopped playing it other than me, pretty much. And obviously, it's a great single player game, anyways. I mean, it basically plays like any other Elder Scrolls game, other than the fact that it's a little better in third person than first. But outside of that,
right,
the way that it feels and sounds and looks, and just kind of the flow, it plays like an Elder Scrolls game, and you can just kind of play it solo, and that's kind of how I play it, anyways. But as I was starting to play it, I found myself wanting to play it, but not wanting to go down here to my PC, because I work when I work from home, I work right over there, and I don't know, it's just like really hot in this room in the summertime, and I usually like hanging out with Alicia when I play games. Like, she just does her own thing, but we still, it's like still like time together, even if I'm playing a game and she's doing something else. Like, we just like to hang out, and the dogs like to sleep on our laps, and I don't know, I just don't like to really play on my PC that much, which kind of sucks. But I just find that it's sort of a barrier of entry for me, unless I can only play it like Total War. I can only play on PC. And so when a new Total War comes out, or a new, DLC that I'm interested comes out for Warhammer or whatever, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to make the effort to play this. But if I had the option to play Total War on a console and it was good, I mean, it would never work, because it's a mouse and keyboard game. But like, if I could, I would play it on a console, because I just prefer the big TV and the couch, and just the comfort of that. I mean, I've got a nice setup, but I just prefer to play on a console. So I was like, you know what? I haven't played ESO in a long time. I took a long break after you and I were living in the Seattle area, and I was like, I think I haven't played in a long time, and the game has got new content. It'd be kind of cool to just experience like the whole game over a long period of time from start to finish. And so, with the foresight of knowing how that game is structured, I decided to make 3 characters, 1 character for each faction,
Oh, okay, yeah,
because each faction has its own set of quest lines,
right.
and they go like one province at a time. It's actually, the map is right here.
There you go.
It's like one province, like one little area of each province at a time is, and the story, and each one follows a story. I only do the main quest with the character I consider my main, and I kind of have like a canon, like a head canon version of a main character for ESO that I really like,
Of course
which
you
is
do.
that high elf, yeah, that female high elf mage, like just pure mage, like just destruction, and she's just nothing but lightning and fire and death. Just like I like to build, because you just fight so many groups in that game. Like I just like to make I just love the AoE attacks in Elder Scrolls
Yeah,
Online, just like liquid lightning, it's a big circle and you're just shocking everyone, and then you're putting down like the wall of elements and that blast, and you have all of these people just all being damaged like really quickly all at the same time until they're dead. It's a lot of fun. So that's like my main character. So I do the main quest and the Aldmeri Dominion quest line with her, and then I have a female dark elf like assassin, dual blade, and bow and arrow, and she's like a hybrid stamina magica character, and so I'm doing the Ebonheart Pact with her, and I love that storyline. Dark Elves Dunmer are like my favorite race in Elder Scrolls. I love their lore, the tribunal, and just their whole relationship with the Argonians, and like just like all their wars and their civil wars and the Ashlanders, and just I don't know. There's something about the Dunmer that I just really, 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 really like. I've always, maybe because Morrowind was my first Elder Scrolls game, so I think I just have a soft spot for the way that area looks in Elder Scrolls Online with all the mushrooms and the volcanoes and the lava and stuff. I just love that thing. So that's been fun to do
I
that.
think the
And
race
then I have
aesthetically looks really cool too.
it looks so cool.
It's very dark and like kind of a little bit of creepiness to it almost, um,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is also kind of like the way I imagine it. If I were a Dunmer and like I would imagine socially around people, it would be hard to have it would be hard to have people like approach you and like actually want to interact with you. I feel like because they just
Yeah.
naturally look intimidating and scary.
Well, and especially because like in the lore, like their look is a curse.
Ah,
Like
right.
they used to be high elves, or some offshoot of high elves that came from the Somerset Isles, and then they founded Morrowind, and then when they adopted the religion of the 3 living gods, Sothasil and Almalexia and Vivek, um, they used to they used to worship Azura, Daedric god,
Yeah.
prince, whatever you want to call her, and Azura cursed them with the ash and fire of the land that they had settled, and it was forever, burned into their skin, and their eyes were turned red, and they were, you know,
Oh,
beastly and scary, and it was like punishment for abandoning her for 3 false living idols.
right.
So it's like kind of cool that it's it's one of those things. What I love about ESO is like that's what they say happened, but it's like how much of this is mythology,
Right.
and how much like that's what they say their origin is, but it's like the origin story like the Greeks had, of
Right.
like it's a little, who knows if that's literal. It could be literal because Azora exists in the game world and has a lot of power, and she's a Daedra and all that, but it's just kind of cool. Like there was, no one remembers that happening, like really
Right.
that, at the point that you're playing it. But
Just an
yeah, they
easy
just
way
have
for
great lore.
people to explain why others are different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it defines them just like it defines humans in a lot of the ways, in the real world.
Yeah.
Um, whether it really does or not, that's a different story, but it unfortunately does sometimes in our society. So it's cool. I mean, all these worlds are kind of a reflection of our, in society and stuff. So yeah, I just love ESO, playing that. And then the third character I have, and what I've been doing is I've been doing one region switch, solo. Like I'm switching it up all the time, so I don't get bored and like burnt out on one character. Like every 5 to 8 hours, I'm switching characters.
Yeah, that's important because I definitely felt like I would get some burnout there with that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I that's why I always do multiple characters, and they're all very different. So like the third character I made is a Breton Templar, classic like knight,
Yeah.
Knight with healing abilities, and kind of make him like a paladin or whatever, just goody two shoes kind of guy. So I have kind of an evil character, I have a goody two shoes character. So and that's just, they're all completely different play styles,
right?
And with the weapon swap system, which I really like in Elder Scrolls Online, where you have a set of skills based on your first set of weapons, and then you can switch to a secondary set of weapons and a whole new set of skills, and you could just create, it's just endless possibilities for what you can do and the different ways you can put them together. So it's been a lot of fun. I just love that game, man. It just feels like home. It's just so cozy. It's the ultimate cozy game for me. The music is beautiful. The world is pretty. It's easy. It's so easy to jump in and out of. So that's all I've been playing, really. Just that, and watching a lot of football stuff, getting pumped for the season.
Oh man.
Getting for the first time in I don't know, probably 8 years, I'm actually like excited for Madden. Which we're gonna for those of you who do like sports and are into sports games, we are gonna, I talked about this before, we're gonna do kind of a special episode on Madden and college football and just sort of the state of football video games. And but we're gonna wait to do that until we've all had a chance to dip our toes into the new Madden. We're gonna play the free trial that you get if you have Game Pass Ultimate. You get EA Play included with that. It's part of Game Pass Ultimate, and EA Play allows you to get 10-hour trials of a lot of new EA games. So if you have Game Pass Ultimate and you're someone who likes Madden but haven't played it in a while, or not sure if you want to plop down a full price for a Madden game, which, trust me, has been a very serious gamble over the last few years. It's been really bad. Madden has been horrible for many years now. This one might be different, sounds like. So we're gonna play it and kind of have that be the basis for an experience, a special experience point episode that we're gonna do about football video games. So stay tuned for that. Probably later this month. Maybe actually, I think it'd be a lot of fun to do it right around the beginning of the football season.
Please be good. Please.
I know, dude. I know, and I will say this: if the gameplay is as good as it looks,
yeah,
from what we can see, and they've done all the presentation stuff, I know I'm going in knowing that not everything is going to be totally overhauled. They've done a lot, and they have not done a lot for a long time. So I know the draft is going to be the same as it was last year, because Madden 25, last year's Madden 25, was the first Madden I bought in 5 years. I bought it half off, like right after the Super Bowl. It was like $30.
Right.
And I was just like, I haven't bought a Madden in 5 years. Let's check it out. Didn't love the gameplay. It was okay. The menus are slow and sluggish and awful. Getting into the game takes forever, and they're just beating you over the head with ads for Ultimate Team. The draft is the draft stuff is better. It's better now. The last year's Madden was better than it was a couple years ago. The draft was horrible a few years back for lots of reasons that we won't get into. But they put some effort into it. You'll probably be like, oh, it'll actually feel a little bit better or newer to you because you haven't played Madden in a while. They have a thing where now that there's like a stage and Goodell is up there, but I mean, he doesn't look good, and it's awkward. There's no like sound to it. Really, it feels like that half finished Madden kind of thing that they do. But at the very least, when you draft a player in the first round, it does have, it's cool. Goodell is up there and your player is up there and they're holding up the jersey that says their name and the number 1 on it. That's cool. It's a small thing. I want them to do more and more. I want them to go full on with the presentation, with the draft in maybe, I don't know, next year's Madden. But I'm not going to hold them. They can't do everything at once. I've just been asking for them to do a lot. Just do a lot, and they've done a lot. So if it's as good as it looks, then I'll be okay with the fact that some of that stuff is going to be the same as last year. So, so we'll leave that there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to aim that for like the week before or the week after the NFL season kicks off. I think would be a perfect time.
That'd be great. Yeah.
To have that episode. And we'll have some hours under our belt and we can really talk about our first impressions of Madden and then go back and just talk about our experience with Madden from the beginning and how frustrating it's been, the exclusive license and college football disappearing and returning and just all of that stuff. We're just going to dive headfirst into football video games. But we want to keep that to a completely separate episode because we know there's quite a few listeners that, that don't love the sports gaming, which I totally understand. So it would be like if a podcast I listen to wanted to talk about like super old school turn-based Japanese anime style RPGs for 2 hours, which I would not want to listen to that. So I totally get it. That's the way it is. So let's jump in. Let's talk about these games before we get out of here. We're already at 46 minutes.
Alicia might be right.
I told her. Well, okay. First of all, to give context, Alicia is not out here being like, "Hey, you're doing this podcasting thing too long." She doesn't care at all.
Oh, yeah.
She just was laughing at me because I told her this was not going to be a 2-hour plus episode, and she was like, "Mm-hmm, sure." I was like, I bet you won't even be going to bed by the time I get done because it's just Kyle and I. And she was like, okay, you get to talking about things. You get to ranting. Those 2 hours go by quick. So we'll see. So I told her under an hour and a half, I bet I could do it because it's just like we had this one basic topic and that was it. So I think we'll be all right. Let's talk about games that are coming out for the rest of the year. Just kind of we just wanted to have an easy, casual conversation. Talk about what some games we're excited about. I have 7 games here. Actually 8 games. One of them, I don't know if it's going to come out this year. And you gave me a couple of these. And I just figured most of these would probably generate some interesting conversation. You might have some too. Do you, I'm going to, so I kind of have them in order of when they're coming out. Do you have, I know you told me about, we were talking about Ghost of Yotai last week. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago that we were talking about that. That comes out October 2nd. So that's kind of, and then you were talking to me about another one. The 2 that I have that you told me about are like right in the middle of my release schedule. So
yeah, let's just knock them out in order. We can do that.
Yeah. So the one for me, it's right around the corner. Crazy. I don't think I'll play it immediately, but I'm definitely going to pick it up. Have you played any of the Mafia games?
Dude, I haven't, but I know that they're good. And I'm pretty sure I would like that because they're heavily story focused, right?
100%. Yeah. They are really classic, like late 2000s third-person shooter story games,
right?
With like super casual driving, and they're like short. They're like 10 to 20 hours, and they're totally story-based.
Now, do I have?
And they're fun.
Do I have to play the first 2? Right? There's 2 so far.
There's 3.
3, yeah.
Okay. So we'll see here. Maybe I can let you know. So the game that I'm talking about on August 8th. Mafia: The Old Country comes out. So this is a prequel.
Oh.
To even the first one. But sometimes prequels are better if you have the
right.
Like, if you go in like it's they might I don't know how they're going to tell the story. In fact, I've kind of gone dark on this game because I didn't want to know too much. But I'm really excited about this one. So I played the original Mafia on the original Xbox. And I just loved it. I mean, it is classic. Like, it takes place in the early 30s. Tommy gun, fedora, trench coat.
Awesome.
New Jersey, accent, Canadian whiskey running mafia. Like it's everything that you think of with like Al Capone era
Right.
mafia. And you get to do all the things that every mafia gangster movie from like the old school mafia gangster movies from the 40s and the 50s and all the way up through like Godfather, like that. It's just the ultimate mafia game, like Italian mafia, right from that golden era of when all that was happening during Prohibition. So that was the first one, and then the second one takes place like after World War II.
Oh.
And I did not finish the second game, which is crazy. Or if I did, I don't remember because I played it right when it came out in 2010. So it's been no less than 15 years since I've played it. I do not remember it.
Oh.
And they're not like all-time great games. They're just really simple, fun games. Like they're just like the perfect like double A experience. I just love them. They're nothing like amazing or special, but they're just a lot of fun. And then the third one, I want to go back and play it again. It was a little disappointing in the sense of the structure of the game was like, it was kind of like a hyper repetitive open world, like GTA clone. The other two have open worlds and you can like get in trouble and have the police come after you, but it was not like they're not like GTA. You drove from it, just let you drive through an open world from one mission to the other. It was just kind of the open world was just kind of nice set dressing with the cool old cars and the classic music of the era, and you drive in your cool old car through this old school New York style city, and you just drove to your mission. And that's what you did. You just drove mission to mission to mission to mission.
Right.
In the first two games. The third one was like, okay, we're going to open it up and have there be more side content and stuff. And it was just like, you're like taking down these rackets and taking over you're basically like a small gang of people and you're destroying the mafia, and taking over.
Right.
And the story was amazing. You are a African-American war veteran, Vietnam War veteran, coming home to the South. It's like New Orleans, to find that the kind of like the Italian mob has like come in and like ousted the black crime community in New Orleans and like kind of taken over and including hurting some people that the main character really cared about. So it's kind of like a revenge. The story is so good. Like the acting is phenomenal, the writing's phenomenal, but it's stitched together with all of this like hyper repetitive open, like not good open world content. I'm going to go back and play it because I really want to finish the story because it's worth it.
Right.
But at the time it was like really buggy and like the frame drops and I was just like, I don't want to keep playing. I'm bored of this, man. So I'm going to go back and play it again. That's and so what I played the first, they remade the first game like completely, graphically, kind of like Oblivion remastered. It feels like that.
Probably got
so the game feels
for all three. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got all three games for like, I don't know, like $12 or something on Xbox Live. Yeah, dude, I don't know, that was on a sale. But yeah, it's like they have like all the Mafia. It's like the Mafia Trilogy Definitive Edition or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was all three games. I got it for like 15 or less. It's nuts.
Heck yeah.
Including the first one, the remake of the first one. And it's cool because it's like still old. It's pretty dated. Like the combat's not perfect, but it's really pretty. And it's the same story, the same voice acting, the same music. It's so good. It's so good. You definitely got to play the first one.
Heck yeah.
So I'm going to play through
it too while I'm talking to you.
Yeah. Check it out. So I played the first one last year, the remake. So I'm going to play the second one. I actually have it installed on my Xbox, and then I'm going to play the third one just slowly. And then I'm going to play Mafia: The Old Country. So Mafia: The Old Country goes back to, I think, like the 19-teens. It's like World War I era.
Yeah, it says early 1900s.
Yeah, early 1900s, back to Sicily. And it's like about the story probably of the family, the mob family that you end up joining as like a, kind of a hitman in the first game. Because in the first game, the character you play as is not a member of the family. He kind of through circumstance and desperation ends up doing dirty work and odd jobs for a mob boss, and he becomes so effective and so reliable that he sort of almost gets adopted into the family as like a made man because they love him so much. But he's not like a blood member of the family. So I would bet that the Old Country is going to be about the actual mob. I think Salieri is the name. The Salieri crime family. It's like GTA, in which like they have these other names for the cities that aren't. It's not New York.
Right.
It's not New Orleans, but it is New York and it is New Orleans.
Yeah.
And so I bet you that it's like, I bet you it's about like Don Salieri or something. You're going to play as like a young Salieri in Sicily, and you're probably playing the story as like how he goes back to how he ends up immigrating to the U.S. It would be my guess.
Right.
So it might be a good place to start.
Yeah, because then you can go from there to.
Then you could just go play the first one and go right into it from there. So maybe that would be, good. I mean, I have already played the first one recently, so I don't want to do that again. So I'm just going to play the second and the third one because it's been so long, and then pick up the Old Country after. But I'll probably buy the Old Country the day it comes out just to vote with my wallet because I love those games.
Right.
And it's a single player narrative experience. And I think it's like $40 or $50 new.
Dropping. I love these just over 12 hours.
I love these AA games coming out lately, like these really good simple story-based games. So that's coming out on the 8th. And I'm really excited about it. So maybe that'd be fun to do an experience point if you wanted to play the first one.
Oh, absolutely.
The remade one. That would be a really cool. It'd be easy too, because that game's pretty short.
Yeah.
It's pretty short. So August 26th, I have a take on this as well. August 26th, Gears of War Reloaded comes out.
Let's go.
Now, this is interesting. What do you? Because they just did this like a couple years ago for it's called the Gears of War the Ultimate Edition. I think the reason they're doing this is because it's coming out on PlayStation 5.
Okay.
So why not like redo it again? And because you're going to release to a whole new community that's never played the game before. Because otherwise it would seem really redundant. Why aren't you redoing the second one then? You've already done this, but they don't want to release a 6-year-old remaster on the PlayStation 5. They want the PlayStation people to have a brand new game so that they can charge full price for it, I would assume. But you have not played these games, right? Other than a little bit with me,
right? Just a little bit, and most of what I have played, back in the day was just multiplayer stuff. I never really got into the campaign as much as I would have liked.
Okay, but so you haven't played through all of them, or you don't really know where the story goes or anything, which is
not really.
So
I mean, I know the main characters, but yeah.
I feel like Gears is like for Xbox is second only to Halo.
I know. I don't know
why the identity of Xbox. They're so good.
I don't know why it never really clicked for me when I was younger.Maybe because I was just so knee deep in Halo. Maybe that's
sure. That makes sense. And you only have so much money. I was just, I don't know. I was lucky. I got games for Christmas all the time and birthdays. I would get like one or two like every time, and then again by the time those games were coming out, not too much longer after that, I was working and buying games left and right. So. So obviously you're interested in playing this.
Oh, very interested. I didn't know this is only the first one.
It's only the first one.
That's surprising.
I bet the only reason they're doing this is because they're releasing it on PlayStation.
Right.
If they weren't releasing this, if they weren't going to put Gears on PlayStation, then they wouldn't do this. I think they would have done the second one. What I think they're doing is they're doing this, putting it on PlayStation so that everyone plays the first game. And then I think they're going to do 2, and then they're going to do 3, and then they're going to do 4 and 5, and then keep going. And then their E-Day is right around the corner. They're doing the Mafia Old Country thing. That's a prequel to the first game.
Okay.
They're working on that. So here's the crazy thing. Neither you nor Taylor has played Gears.
Oh,
And I have played Gears, especially Gears 1, over and over again. I will play this. But I mean, I feel like you guys should play co-op through it. You'd both be experiencing it for the first time.
that would be, yeah, absolutely.
And then we could do an experience. But if you'd rather play it differently, you want to play with me or whatever. So, but I can't.
I'm not totally partial for that.
First game, I can't remember if it's the fourth game or the third game. But eventually, you do get up to 4-player co-op.
Oh, heck yeah.
So then we can play them all together. But I was just thinking, like, that would be a sick way to do like an experience point / kind of review discussion for the reloaded version of Gears of War. If you guys played it, I mean, both of you have never played. I think that'd be really cool. Like, here you are in 2025, both playing Gears of War 1 for like kind of the first time all the way through. I think that'd be super cool. Obviously, we'll figure that out, but I just thought that would be really fun. And
Yeah,
I could just play through it.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So.
Oh, good. It's on Xbox Game Pass. I was hoping.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, totally. And it's really cool.
I'm like, I'm not paying $40.
No, and well, what's really nice about that though is if you didn't have Game Pass and you owned the Ultimate Edition of Gears of War, which came out in like 2018, I think, they gave it to you for free. This version. So I got a message when I logged on. It's like, thank you for buying Gears of War Ultimate Edition back on whatever date. And they're like, we're going to give you this version for free. Would you like to preload it now? And I preloaded it. So it's like preloaded for me. It's going to pre-install as soon as it's available.
Heck yeah.
So I'm very excited about that. Okay, the next one, September 5th. I'm trying to think of everything that's come out already this year that we've already played. So I could be wrong, but this is my most anticipated game of the year, bar none.
Oh.
And it's Chronos: The New Dawn. Have I talked to you about this before?
Oh, we've kind of like shared videos back and forth on TikTok, talked about it a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it looks fantastic. I know that you kind of just similar to Ghost was like, I've seen enough. Let's release the game, and I want to play it.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I went dark. I saw a little bit of gameplay like really early on. I watched the YouTube video that was like two of the developers just kind of talking about like their inspirations and like what the game, like kind of how the gameplay works. And I saw some gameplay and I'm like, this is just so me.
Oh, 100%.
I'm just so in. Do you know, did you, whatever you did watch of it, have you seen kind of like what the story is? Like it's so fascinating.
I've just seen that original, release trailer, basically, that it doesn't really explain the story. It just kind of gives you a feel of the world and the gameplay a little bit, and which looks fantastic. I think the art style is really dark and unique in its own way at the same time. And
yeah, kind of gothic.
Yeah, there's something very mysterious about the character you're playing that I like. Not really sure what sort of, maybe they're a part of some sort of cult-ish, or I'm not sure what's going on with that, with the main character, but it's pretty cool having that mystery with the full suit of armor, and I'm kind of excited to see how that story unfolds.
Yeah, well, so the suit that the character is in is a time traveling apparatus.
Oh, that's sick.
And so like they kind of build the clunkiness of it of like look, like what do you want? We built a fucking time machine. It's clunky. Like,
yeah.
But I think that was the way for them, because what they're clearly going after is that heavy footed presence of Dead Space.
Right.
There's something about the way Isaac moves through the world in Dead Space that is just it's so satisfying to just walk forward in Dead Space. Like, it's so hard to explain. There's a few games that I play that I feel that way, where they just get the animations for the character in third person just so right, and the feel and the weight and the sound and the hi there, welcome in. Oh, I'm being delivered a little snack here.
Okay. Nice.
Oh, hi, Olive. You can go with your mama. Olive is down here. My little dog's down here. She's like standing in the middle of the room. Alicia's about to leave, and she's like, she's just torn. She's like, And it's just waiting for one of us to just call her to let her know because she doesn't know what to do. So she
Don't make me choose.
Yeah. So the only thing I know is that it takes place in which some kind of horrible outbreak of like a disease, or it's kind of like a Last of Us style, like terrible outbreak took place in, I think it's Warsaw, because they're Polish. The developers are. I think it's in Warsaw. I think. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. And it happened in like the 80s, like during the Cold War, which is a really really hard time in Soviet, like Europe, the parts where the eastern half of like Germany and Poland and all, in Poland that was still with the Soviet Union, things were not good. And I think it's like, so it's got that like that 70s 80s Soviet vibe going, that Cold War vibe. You know what I'm talking about when I say the Cold War vibe, like the men in suits with cigarette, like Control.
Yeah.
Or X-Files, like this like Cold War government conspiracy, hiding aliens, hiding a horrible disease, like that.
Yeah.
It's hard to, that vibe of like where the whole world, like no one, like where everyone was trusting the government and the government was not up to any good.
Right.
And so what, like it's like an alternate history where there's a horrible outbreak and you're way in the future of that now. And I don't know if the whole world's destroyed by this outbreak, or like Last of Us, or we don't know yet really, but they build a time machine and you're going back and forth between right as the outbreak's happening and after the outbreak. And you're going back and forth. You have to like physically travel to a spot and then travel back in time to figure out, like trying to stop it from happening.
Oh.
And that just sounds so cool to me.
Yeah.
And it just so original. And Bloober Team, they've made some shitty games before, but they finally made a great game with Silent Hill 2, it sounds like. And so I'm just super excited about this game. So
it looks fantastic. I don't know if I can play it.
Well, so
but I'll watch you.
You did mention Silent Hill F, which comes out on September 25th.
I sure did.
So if you don't think you can play Chronos, do you think you're going to be able to play Silent Hill?
It's questionable. I really love the look of that game. It looks fantastic. The story looks amazing. I think the world is so kind of eerie and unique. I do think Silent Hill typically does scare the shit out of me. I have horrible memories of that as a kid. When I played that.
Oh, dude.
I think
it's horrifying.
Oh my gosh. But it looks great, and obviously it's action packed, which I didn't think Dead Space was too much. I enjoyed watching you play it, and I think if I really, obviously if I push myself to do it, I think I would really enjoy it. You just got to get past that threshold.
Dead
Chronos
Space
looks
is kind of like
fun,
BioShock.
Though. Yeah.
Like it's scarier than BioShock. It's definitely more scarier throughout, but if you can make it, especially if it's like the first time you're playing it, if you can just make it through those first couple of chapters, you're good to go.
Yeah, you start to kind of figure out your strengths and weaknesses. I feel like you get a little more comfortable in that
you're
universe.
Upgrading your weapons and your armor, and like you're getting more stuff, and like you're being able to deal with lots of different situations, and it's just like it's never scarier than those first couple of chapters. And once if you can get through those and you're enjoying yourself, you'll just blast right through it. And then it's just so fun, just upgrading all the, using the nodes to decide what you're going to upgrade. And
Heck yeah.
So yeah. Silent Hill F. I mean, I definitely want to play. So here's the thing. We were talking about this last week. Silent Hill 2 is like the most popular game of the series.
Yeah.
So they remade that, but it sounds like they're remaking the first one.
Huh.
So I'm like, okay, well, then I want to play Silent Hill 1 remake, and then Silent Hill 2, and then Silent Hill F.
And
because I've never played the series.
Are they correlated in story? I really never stuck around with it long enough, and I was so young, and I don't know. I was so afraid of those games. There was no chance of me playing them.
I think there's something about the muddy graphics of PS2 as well that like almost lent toward those being even scarier.
Boy, yeah.
Like kind of leaves things up to your imagination a little bit. And it's just, things don't, you're not, they don't, the controls were terrible too, which made it even scarier because you weren't, I
Ooh,
guess in the remake, you're a little bit more able to defend yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited about Silent Hill F. The enemy and creature design is just gruesome and horribly creative and different.
Yeah.
And the idea of playing like a young, like playing as this like young Japanese school girl, like stuck in a nightmare, is a very
That's what it feels like.
interesting take,
Like kind of like like a Nightmare on Elm Street
Yeah.
kind of vibe to it,
Yeah.
where it's like you can definitely tell that there's like, a lot of this is kind of in a sense going on in her head, and so it kind of creates this mystery, and you want to know more about who this main character is and why she's experiencing all this.
Totally. No, I absolutely agree. I'm very intrigued by it. And it's funny though, some of these games, like the Old Country, I think I'm going to play the other Mafia games first. Chronos, I want to play it, but at the same time, it's like I kind of like to. I always play my scary games like in the beginning of October. It's just kind of a fun like tradition of mine.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to buy Chronos and then wait because I'm going to be playing the new Madden. I'm going to be playing through Gears of War. I might be playing through Mafia 2, playing through Bioshock. Like we're going to have a lot of things to play over the next couple months. So I'm probably going to buy it, give them their day one money, and then pick it up like as soon as I'm through some of that stuff. Ghost of Yotai, October 2nd.
Dude,
there's a lot of games coming out
close,
this year.
Dude. I know. Oh,
that's
boy.
right around the corner.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
You should talk. I mean, I loved the first game. Uh-oh, my dog is growling. So prepare for some barks. I'll mute myself.
That's okay.
You just kind of, is this like a game you're going to like take a day off for kind of a thing, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I just might, to be honest. I'm incredibly excited for this game. Even if it's like I mentioned this before, even if the story is not up to par, I felt like the gameplay was so much fun. And Ghost of Tsushima, it kind of like fed into this like, the fighting mechanics are kind of like Witcher-esque, and that part feels like a lot of fun. But then it also gives you that like Assassin's Creed side of things. It's a perfect blend of both. So I'm just looking forward really to roaming the universe and even doing the side quests were a lot of fun and unique with doing the different like haikus and then what was that one where you would like cut through the bamboo and have to do like the pattern correctly? It's like all these different challenges that were really cool and unique, and then they came usually with a really beautiful picture and background and like different art style, and the way that they would even title things in a sense was very kind of like antique, and like very classic like Japanese. I really loved all of that. So yeah, I'm excited for part 2. Hopefully they fix some things that are weird too. I know that you and I both talked about it, but the like some of the like way that they set up dialogue in the first one was a bit weird at times, where you would like interact with people but then like the camera would be fixed in a spot that was just like so awkward. It's like, why is it doing this?
It was very gamey. It was like, because I remember that was something I always appreciated so much about The Witcher, is like they built a system in which no matter who you spoke with, it would adjust to make the camera, and the camera would then frame the characters in like kind of a cinematic way.
Right.
No matter who you were talking to.
Right.
And it just helped you settle in a little bit more immersed.
Yeah.
As opposed to sort of like just Dragon Age Inquisition did this too, where it's like you'd go, some people you'd talk to and you'd get into like a cutscene kind of style talk, and it was really engrossing. And then other people you talk to would be like this zoomed out camera and these two characters like standing there just talking, like, and you could like move the camera around. You're like, oh, this feels like they were just like, we don't need to do that,
Right.
So yeah, that would be like pretty much one of the only things I would change about it,
Absolutely.
I think it's funny the way these games are coming out. For me, they're all coming out like 1 month too early.
Yeah.
Because like I'm gonna get the games we're talking about done, and then I'm gonna go play my scary games this October. At least Chronos, if not Chronos and Silent Hill 2. If I can get both in, that'd be great.
Right.
And then I'm going to play Ghost of Yotai in November. That's going to be my big game for the end of the year. I'm going to play Ghost of Yotai in November, in December, and January. Like, I'm going to spend a lot of time with it. That's going to be my big game for this year because it's coming out right at that time. I usually play like 2 kind of big games. I'll do one at the end of the year, and then I'll probably do one more for the rest of winter, like January through March or whatever. And then I kind of have to dial it down because work's going to start to get crazy again as we go into April. So I kind of have a nice like plan on what I'm going to do.
A lot of great games.
I can't wait.
Not enough
Can't
time.
wait.
Yeah, I've got to find a way to. I mean, I know there's plenty of time from now until October 2nd, but I just want to make sure I'm cleared by quite a bit of the KCD2. Make sure I got some breathing room in between before I start.
Yes.
Because I don't want to just make it back to back because that'll be exhausting. So I'm definitely there with you. Hey, I do want to dial it back a little bit on that. On the time here and go back to September 4th. I want to mention that.
Oh, cool.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is a DLC coming out for Indiana Jones, an expansion for that adventure title, which is something that I've been wanting to really play. I don't have
me too
a whole lot to say about it, but I know that it's very highly rated and kind of a sneaky, really good game.
Well, did you play the Wolfenstein games, the New Order and the New Colossus?
I did not.
Oh fuck, they're so good,
and
made by the same people.
Yeah, okay.
Machine Games. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Machine Games. Yeah, they are the Wolfenstein. The Machine Games Wolfenstein games are like some of my. They're probably, I would say, like other than maybe Halo. I'm trying to think of other first-person shooters. I mean, yeah, the New Colossus might be like right up there as like my favorite first-person shooters. Just before, other than Halo, like story-based, incredibly like satisfying gun mechanics. I mean, shooting Nazis in those games.
Boy,
just the like when you play a shooter and like you fire like a shotgun at someone and you're just like, oh damn, like when it it just has like real impact, and like the gun has, it's like the sound design and the animation of like the kick and the way that it sparks.
Dude,
just the way those things come together
for me. 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, Wolfenstein it's a great example.
Yeah.
Very much like that. That's what the Wolfenstein games feel like, but in first person.
That's fantastic.
And the stories are so good. They're very like Quentin Tarantino, like pulpy but serious, and like funny but not in like the overly like marvelly witty.
Yeah, not
goofy.
trying too hard.
It's like a really good balance. They're so good. Those are 100% experience points games. I'm going to put those on our list.
Okay.
Like right after we're done.
Absolutely.
Great call out, because I have not played that yet. That's one that Alicia wants to watch me play because it's very story driven.
Yeah, it looks like one of those that you can have somebody else watch it with you, and absolutely. Yeah, I would love to. I'm not even like a big Indiana Jones guy, to be honest, but it looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah, and Troy Baker, man,
yeah,
does a good Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm interested in that. I only have 3 left. We talked about this one a little bit. So on October 10th, Battlefield 6 is dropping. They just dropped the announced trailers. Like a trailer for the campaign and a trailer for the multiplayer.
It's going viral right now.
Dude, those trailers. If the game ends up being shitty, whoever edited those trailers needs to be given a raise. But it feels kind of like the Madden thing, where everything I'm seeing about it since it got announced is like, okay, yeah, we know that we got way, way, way off course, and we'd like to bring the core audience back. So here's everything here's maybe not everything, but here's a lot of what you've been wanting.
Right.
Are you interested? And that's how I feel. I was a big Battlefield 3. It's like one of the only multiplayer games I've ever gotten really into. And I don't know. I'm not going to like buy it, but I'm definitely going to try the beta out. It just looks absolutely. I know that I know that you're not like the biggest Battlefield guy, but if you just get some time, watch the two trailers, the announced trailer and the multiplayer trailer, because holy shit, they look incredible.
Oh, I'm so.
It looks so good, dude. If it's as good as it looks, if it's as good as the trailer makes it looks, this game is going to fuck me up as far as the time that I'm going to have to play these other games. It's like the rare multiplayer release, the old school like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 1. Like they're the rare multiplayer game that I just will just if I can get a group together to play, I'll drop everything and just lose my life to it because they're so fun. They're just so fun.
Heck yeah. I think what
So
was that? Gosh, there was a. You know, I remember I was really young. I played one of the like original Battlefield games, so I was really into it. What was it called? Was it Battlefield 1918?
it's well, there's Battlefield 1.
Anyways, I played it on PC quite a bit, but
Battlefield 1, not as in like the first one. It was called Battlefield 1, ONE, and it was World War 1 and it came out in 2016.
well, that one, yeah, that's one of the newer ones. I'm talking about. They came out with this game when I was like maybe
Oh, that was probably Battlefield 1942.
1942. Yeah, that's probably it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember having a lot of fun with that. It was like one of the first real like giant battles of a like shooter game that you could play at the time, and it was a lot of fun. I'm definitely down. I'm hoping this one is good because I definitely felt like, you know, you and I were talking about it, that, you know, there was that battle royale era that like kind of like took over and everything became super twitchy, fast paced, and, you know,
That's why I
all
always
shooters just kind of became the same
Oh yeah,
genre for a little while.
totally. That's why I always liked Battlefield because it was pretty heavy and slow and sluggish. It was kind of like somewhere, you know, if you have like a sim aren't like Arma, you know, those like army simulators.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you have that on one side of the spectrum and like Call of Duty and Fortnite are on the other, I feel like Battlefield was like a perfect middle ground.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Slower, the gun, you know, weapons fire are heavy weapons fire. There's kickback. You got to really kind of, you know, lead and it's all about teamwork and tactics and it's about objectives based. It's not just about KD ratio at all. You know, it's about taking certain points and blowing that up, and you have to work together as a team to win. It doesn't matter. You can have someone killing 150 people a match, but if they don't try and take the zones, it doesn't matter. And all I want is just the conquest mode, and I want the classes back so you have like a medic and a gunner and a sniper and an assault guy, and you can just build a squad with your buddies and work together as best you can and communicate and go after the objectives and cover each other and, you know, sniper. It's like you're just like it's like everything about like the little like American war fantasy that like just covering fire and like I need ammo and it's very Helldivers like. I mean that's kind of what it. I mean the gameplay is not, but the experience is of like being with your buddies and like narrowly getting through and winning a really hard fought battle because you guys figured out a way to do this all together. It can be a great experience if it's good. I don't know if I'll get it. I have to like. If it's good, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to like recruit people to play it.
It's not coming out on any of the Game Passes, is it?
I don't think so. Not right off the bat. I don't think so. So that's October 10th.
That's my thing. I have a hard time paying for games full price right off the bat.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. And that would be fine with me. That would be fine with me to wait a little bit. Yeah. Like let them get the kinks out of the servers and all that stuff.
Right.
And you know maybe they'll do a 10%, 20% off or whatever for Christmas or something. But another one I had on here.
You're not.
And I don't. Do you have another one?
I was just. You're not like a Borderlands guy, are you? Because we got Borderlands 4.
Yeah, I did. I forgot about that one. I didn't write that down. Are you a Borderlands person?
No,
I don't. I'm not into it at all.
But I know it's a pretty big game.
Yeah. If you're listening out there and you're a big Borderlands person, write in for next week and let us know what you think. Because I can't. They're just like really goofy and silly, and it's just like there's not really like a story. It's like very just like about the gameplay and just running around and collecting new guns and kind of like it feels like almost like an old school platformer, but instead of a platformer, it's a first person shooter, you know?
It's pretty cartoony. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, it fits a certain niche for people. And I think that's why it's so popular.
Oh yeah. I think it's like really addicting and kind of grindy, you know?
Oh, for sure.
So, I had one that I know you're not really into and that I am not sure that I'm going to play this year, but I want to give the first one a try again because I love the studio, and that's The Outer Worlds 2 on October 29th.
Got to talk about it. It's big. Yeah.
It's big, and I liked what I saw in the trailer. Looks like they're really going after that multi option mission where it's like you can stealth through the ventilation system and turn off the alarms and sneak in and assassinate the guy and open the bridge that way. Or you can go in guns blazing and blow everyone away and just go open the bridge that way. Or you can like join up with this faction and bribe this guy and talk your way into this thing and pretend and then go like there's just all this design, right? Like
Yeah,
Obsidian loves that stuff and I really like it. I like that. I like
that is
those different.
awesome.
I just like the first one just didn't really resonate with me at first, but it kind of feels to me like that's one of those games where it's like right place, right time, and it might work.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'd like it now, knowing what it is. I just couldn't get into it the first time. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, I think
Did you?
it's
You didn't like it either, right? That much?
well, I'm going to be honest, I never really played it because I just felt like the universe wasn't really hitting for me. I think the style
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's like Borderlands, but it's definitely got like a silliness to it where it's not taking itself too seriously. And
Yes.
for some reason why like specifically with like shooters, that just really rubs me the wrong way. I don't know why. It just doesn't fit.
It's just
Um
hard for me to like get invested into the world if the world's like the whole
yeah,
time.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it is for me where like I do respect that aspect of like cuz I know that they put a lot of work into allowing the player to have like the freedom to really explore the universe exact whatever way they want to, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't get pigeonholed into one style of play. I think that part is incredible.
Yeah, the
Um
design is
yeah,
is awesome. Yeah.
I just,
Obsidian's so good at that.
absolutely. Um to me it's just, really the um if it takes a little bit more serious of a tone, great. I'm not a big fan of a. It's kind of like in Borderlands is similar. I keep drawing correlations to it, and I know they're very different games. But in Borderlands, one thing that irritated me too is like they have all these different types of guns, which is great. Uh, but the guns like do weird things, like they'll like shoot pigs out or
Right.
like
Yeah.
it's silly stuff again. And
Like
I
here's
know,
a fart gas weapon or
yeah,
whatever.
and
Like,
you're like,
oh,
you're doing as
thanks.
much damage as like an actual standard, like, maybe 50 cal or something, whatever the case may
Right.
be.
Right.
Those silly things don't really attract me. And they have a lot of that sort of content in, this type of game. So
Mm-hmm.
it just depends on what it has to offer. And hopefully there's like other avenues where I can play like, a playthrough that's a little bit more grounded in reality.
Yeah, and I think that the Outer Worlds it's sort of like Dead Space, not in the gameplay or the genre, but the if I remember right, it doesn't keep up the insanity, like the zaniness
Hmm.
through the whole thing. It's like very much so in the beginning because of the when it's introducing you to some of the characters, they're like all kind of wacky characters in the beginning, like the scientist that frees you, and like the AI on your ship is like broken and kind of messed up and funny.
Right.
But I do remember some of the characters being a little bit more grounded, a little more serious, and like interesting to talk to. I didn't know how to like interact with the world and like what it wanted from me, and I didn't know what I wanted from it. It's
Right.
like, but now that I've played through like maybe half of the first game, I'm like, I think if I restarted this, kind of knowing what I know, like I could make, I think I could get myself into a place that would make me enjoy it for what it is. Like I could make like a gunslinging, smooth talking, like Malcolm Reynolds from Firefly would
Sure.
fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's
like
a good.
if I can kind of set myself up for it, right? Because when I go in and I don't know that it's going to be like that, it kind of throws me off, and it's not really what I wanted.
Right.
But now that I've gone in and I feel like if I maybe approached it that way, I think I'm going to give it another shot. I'm going to give the first Outer Worlds a shot and probably play this sometime next year.
That's a good
That's what I'm
point to
thinking.
make, actually. One of those type of like, um, I guess heroes of the story that's like, yeah, like, similar to like Firefly or like even
lean into it a little bit.
or even maybe like a Star Lord from like Guardians
Sure,
of the
yes.
Galaxy, you know?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a great thought. Yeah, that's a perfect example of what I mean. Like maybe if you pick an idea that kind of leans into the thing that I maybe didn't like about the tone in the beginning, and maybe I'll like it more, and maybe I won't, but at least I'll have tried, because I like Obsidian enough to like want to try them, to like want to play that again. Like Avowed, I'm good. I know that I don't want to play Avowed.
Yeah.
But the Outer Worlds has enough, and it has enough fans and enough people who love it, that it's like I feel like I just maybe missed something.
Absolutely. That's kind of how I
And
feel about
sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're wrong place, wrong time, wrong mind, frame of mind. And it's just like, I'm good.
It's day one Game Pass. I mean, what do we have to lose anyway? So
Right, yeah, exactly. And you can get Outer. I don't know if the original Outer Worlds is. I think it's on Game Pass. Yeah, it's on Game Pass. So yeah. I had another one, but I feel like it's going to take us down a serious rabbit hole, and it's TBD for release date, so I don't think it's going to come out this year. So I might save it.
that's fair.
Do you have any other ones?
I'm just kind of like looking through a list of things that are coming out, at least for 2025. I mean, nothing really kind of pops out at me a whole lot.
Yeah, I tried to be pretty thorough and grab all the ones that really popped out to me.
I've been convinced about Mafia, though. I definitely want to try to take a look at that.
Yeah,
but
that'd be fun. Those are nice games. You just pick them up, you beat them in like a couple weeks, they're done.
Yeah.
So, well, cool, man. I know it's a little shorter than normal, but I think we'll probably call it. There.
Yeah.
For the evening.
Seems like a good.
I know Taylor. I know you're listening. I hope the move is still going okay, and you're getting things unpacked. And he will be joining us next week. We'll have a full episode and have a topic and write-ins and all of that. So we really appreciate you guys just hanging with us, chatting. This was fun, man. Thanks, Kyle. I enjoyed. It was nice to actually write down a bunch of games that are coming out this year and kind of get like a lay of the land.
Yeah, I know. There's I kind of like learned a few things about it. Some new games that I'm like actually excited for. So I'm glad we talked about it. And then of course, I also want to say, if anybody's got some write-ins to talk about some games that are coming up, I definitely would love to. Find out some more new games that I would love to play here. So please,
if you're listening, please, let us know. We can open up next week's episode with some write-ins about kind of following up on this topic. What of the games we listed, are you excited about any of those in particular? Is there one we missed that you're really pumped about? Write in for us next week, and we'd love to dive into that a little bit. But yeah, I can't wait to talk about so many of these games, and we have a good year ahead of us. So I think it'll be nice. I think I'm gonna go hang out with Alicia and eat some popcorn.
Nice.
And just stay up a little bit tonight. Maybe play some ESO. Go to bed around 11 or so, and go to work tomorrow. That's kind of what I'm looking at. How about you, man?
Yeah, I actually didn't have a whole lot of time to get a work in here, so I work out. You got to work in. Oh, that's a work in. Oh, it is a work in. I mean, I'm in my room, so
yeah. You're staying in.
Yeah, so I might try to do that real quick, and then yeah, I'm pretty tired today. I didn't sleep very well, and we got up early for the gym, so it's gonna be an early night for me.
Yeah, Thursdays we don't go to the gym because we do this. We're a little bit earlier today, but we'll just keep our usual schedule and do Friday and Sunday like always. But hey, everybody, it's the weekend for you, you lucky motherfuckers. And I hope everyone has a wonderful, safe weekend. And thank you for joining us for this fun little talk. And we're really pumped to return with Taylor for episode 64 of the Solo Gamer Podcast. But until then, we will catch you next week. Later.
See you guys.